Hi, everybody. I'm Juniper Rose. I'm here to show off this wonderful game called Lightmatter. I have a friend of mine here on commentary. Oz, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yo, hello everybody. My name is Osmorn. I am another runner of this game, and I'm super happy to be here with Juniper, and because she's a great runner of this game. She was one of like the original people that started running it when it first came out, and so I'm honored to be here commentating this run with her.
Yeah, as Oz said, I've been running this game since launch. So I was the pioneer of a couple of the tricks that you will see me perform. And I'll make sure I let you know of those tricks when that happens. And I think without further ado, we can go ahead and get started. So timing is going to start as soon as I click level 1 here. So I'll do a 5-second countdown and we can start the timer. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Good luck and have fun.
Yeah. So for official moderation, we use the in-game time, which you can actually see at the top right of my screen here, where it says like level time and total time. We use that total time for official moderation. But because this is for an event, you will see an RTA time in there too. So it'll be slightly different. So
Mhm.
this game is called Lightmatter. I like to consider it kind of a horror light because it's not really a horror game, but it has some horror elements. Um,
Yeah.
it's mostly a puzzle platformer, kind of like Portal or Talos Principle.
Both are rich, amazing games,
Yes,
and so this one definitely groups in well with that, with those two.
yes. Um, so we're kind of just in the tutorial area where it kind of just teaches you, hey, you can climb up certain ledges, you can jump, you can run, and you'll notice I'm actually jumping up staircases because the game kind of just slows you down ever so slightly whenever you're on stairs for some reason. So we jump up them to maintain our momentum. And here we're going to meet the overarching voice, Virgil.
Yeah, Virgil here is our main antagonist of the game. He's kind of like the corrupt CEO of Lightmatter. He's gonna paint us a picture of how he's doing Lightmatter for the greater good, even though like a bajillion people died. And so he's like the disembodied voice, GLaDOS-esque person that's gonna be following us throughout a lot of the run. And in these first two levels, there's like literally no way you can die. And like even if you find a way to touch the shadows, like there's no kill plane programmed into them. Like you cannot die in the first two levels. And so it's mainly just here to introduce basic mechanics and have you get used to the movement of this game. And overall, gives a really good introduction to just basic movement of the speedrun.
Yes, I do know how buttons work. Thank you for noticing.
Thank you. We're so good at pressing buttons, and we're going to be pressing a lot of buttons today.
Yeah, we're so
Uh,
good, and like I bet you that nothing's gonna go wrong for any of the ones we press.
oh, definitely. It's all going to go exactly according to plan.
Yep.
Nothing wrong is going to happen.
Yeah.
Speaking of going to plan, like this is the end of the game right here.
Yes, that is the plan. I just flicked that lever, and we're gonna leave the facility. Hooray!
Mhm.
World record by
Yeah,
40 minutes.
yeah, yeah. That's like GG's. We're gonna go up this elevator, and that's it. Nothing bad is going to happen. There's no way, shape, or
Don't,
form
yeah, don't
that
mind the
anything is going to
shaking.
go.
Don't mind the shaking. That
Yeah.
doesn't mean
Don't
anything.
mind the don't ignore the death counter. Ignore the estimate. Just this is it. We're good.
Yep. Oh, there goes the core. Bye bye, light matter. Oh,
Why did we stop?
oh no.
Why? Why? Why does this happen every time?
I don't know. I don't know.
It's almost like it's a scripted event. Like,
Yeah. Also, just a general flashing lights warning for this game.
oh
Um,
yeah,
there, I you would assume a game called Light Matter would have, flashing lights, but just to make sure y'all know.
Hmm.
There will
Yeah.
be one really big flash later on, which we will warn you about again. But other than that, they're
Hmm.
usually pretty tame.
Yeah, for the most part. But now we're getting into level 3, which means the game, the shadows can actually kill us from here on out,
Yeah.
with some exceptions. But
Yeah, which we'll explain when they happen.
yeah. But movement for these beginning levels are pretty standard. Just timing your jumps to try and get past these the lights here in level 3, and then in level 4 we have like our first skip. This run is like riddled with lots and lots of skips. It's so fun. But right here, what Juniper is going to do is that she's going to be moving the bridge on the bottom, right, left, and then back to right. So there's a little delay on the second time that she puts it to the right, and so the bridge, we can walk across the bridge at the bottom before the bridge on top covers it, and we can just skip most of the actual puzzling for that section.
Speaking
And
of
speaking of,
puzzles,
yeah,
there is one
exactly,
in this room, right? Right?
right?
I
I wouldn't know.
I don't know.
I wouldn't know. I think I still have the world record for this level. It's like a 17. Like, I don't know how. Like, not even. No, not 17. Like way less than that. It's like a really short amount of time. But like, um,
Here's our introductions to the lamps.
lamps are heavy and clunky.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so much so that we
I got
actually. Oh
the
my god,
I
that
got the
happens to me all the time.
yeah.
I hate it when
It
that
doesn't
happens.
let you jump
Uh,
sometimes.
yeah. But lamps are heavy and clunky. We cannot jump with the lamp, and our movement speed slows down when we have a lamp. Here we go.
And upcoming next is the sole reason why we call this no major glitches as opposed to glitchless for this category. um,
Yeah, and yeah, you go ahead.
so these lamps have a weird property because they are entities, and a lot of games don't like entities occupying the same space. So if we take this lamp and we kind of just shove it into this corner here, we can bounce off of it.
Yeah, even the height that Faye is getting right now, that's pretty like abnormal for the height. But Juniper Faye is gonna be really lodging it in. Like the more that Faye lodges it into the
To
vent.
the
I can't
wall,
say the
to
word
the
vent. The
grate,
vent.
the
The
vent.
the grate. Like
It's
the
sus.
grate.
It's an imposter.
Yeah, exactly. Like the more that Faye actually like lodges it into the vent, the bigger the bounce like you're gonna have off of the lamp. And so that is like
And
a
that
really weird
that
physics
saves
about what
like
happens.
15 seconds, I want to say.
It does. That's a good thing about like a lot of the skips in this game. Like barely any of the skips like actually save. They're not like skips that save like
Tons
half
and
a
tons of
second. Like
time.
they save so much time. And the fact that we were able to do that with like a no major glitches run, that's kind of like pretty limited on the glitches that you can do. Um, it's like it's a really cool run and super beginner friendly in my opinion. It's like the first speed run that I got like really serious about. So if you're looking for like a new one to get into or your first one ever, I highly recommend this one.
Oh yeah, this is a very beginner friendly speed game. In
Hmm.
fact, you can even speedrun the demo if you want. It's only the first 15 levels, but it's still really fun, and you get some really interesting voice line interactions with Virgil, specifically in the demo that you don't hear
Hmm.
in the normal version of the game.
Yeah. But right here we have a cycle-based level, and if we're fast enough, we can skip half of a cycle when this mineral decontaminator closes and opens. And luckily, Juniper was able to get it.
Yeah.
And there's also no RNG elements in this game. Like it's a low skill floor, high skill ceiling kind of game.
Oh
You can
yes.
always see yourself improving.
Yeah. For the
Hmm.
no major glitches category, we don't rely on any RNG whatsoever because everything is cycle based or just straight up movement based.
Hmm. Exactly. And in level 10 here, you're gonna see Juniper leaving some lamps in the dark because this is like the first level that we get introduced to just lamps. You can leave lamps in the dark. Also, here's a little jab at Portal right here.
Okay,
Mhm.
so that's another button that we just pressed, right? We've been pressing buttons pretty well. Oh,
Oh, who could have seen such a thing coming?
so I mean, that's, you know, after 13 buttons pressed, one out of 13 isn't so bad, right? So
Yeah,
we've got about 2 minutes to just kind of fool around here.
yeah.
Uh,
Um, it does not matter if you die during this cutscene at all.
yes, well, yeah, it's not even a cutscene. It's just we wait for Virgil to make his phone call. Um, we're coming up, but the next level, level 11, actually has a skip that I found on accident during my first casual playthrough of the game, and
Yeah.
it's
Well,
been
technically level 12. Technically it's level 12, isn't it?
yeah,
Because
it's
it's
the end of
yeah,
level 11, beginning of level 12, but yeah,
yeah, yeah. And so we did push the button too hard. That how foolish of us.
yeah,
It was totally our fault. But we're gonna see a nice cycle based level here in level 11. And it's a cycle based level that we have no fast cycles for. Even though it feels like we should be able to have a fast cycle for some of these things, but like, and you're gonna see what I mean here. But like, it's a really like you can take your time with this level in particular. Like you don't have to go, you don't have to rush yourself.
yeah,
And yeah, like right here. The reason I say that is because right here, like you grab this lamp and then it feels like you should be able to have a fast cycle for this particular section, but I actually like but I don't like you
yeah,
should it feels like you should be able to stand on top of the first moving platform before it leaves, but you just can't. There's no way.
yeah. It's a very tight like non-cycle.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it just if we could be ever so slightly faster, it would work for us. All right, this is the skip
Yeah,
the skip I'm talking about. So we notice the level transition change, and then I hello escape key. There we go.
I was a bit concerned there for a minute. Mhm.
And then we have one of everybody's favorite tricks in the game.
Rail grinding.
Yes, but no, I found that on accident. I was just like, I accidentally sent the elevator up without me on it, and I didn't realize I could bring it back down. So I thought I was stuck. I
Mhm.
clicked retry, and I found myself at the top of the elevator.
Mhm.
And just
How
kind
long is
of,
that cutscene?
it's like 10 seconds.
It's like yeah.
Not even, it's like 8 seconds. I don't know, but it saves a little bit of time.
But we actually do get to do that skip again later, and it
Yes,
saves like two
yeah,
whole minutes.
yeah. This was what I discovered, but we found out that there was a much better application for it later on in the game, which saves two
Yeah,
minutes.
it does.
So,
Free, two free whole minutes. It's amazing. Um, what were you saying before?
um, yeah, no. So the rail grinding is everybody's favorite trick because you just get to feel like a pro skater for a second.
Yeah, and we're gonna see more of that later. But right now we get introduced to Ellen.
Hi,
Everyone say
Alan.
hi to Ellen. Yeah. Voiced by Natalie Hitzel, and Virgil is voiced by David Bateson, both of which I've had the honor of speaking to, which is absolutely amazing. They're great people. They did an amazing job in this game. There's another reason why you should buy this game. Really good voice acting.
Yes.
Um, but there's some interesting skips here that we're gonna see in the next few levels. More particularly here in level 14, Juniper Rose is going to be lining herself up with specific markings on these fan blades right here. And so, in doing that, she is able to move with the fan blades. And it's a very precise lineup that you need to have. Um, Luckily, um, Faye was able to do it pretty cleanly,
Yeah, I missed it
and
once, but that's all right.
missed once, but like, you know,
Still saves a
it,
ton of
it,
time.
it still does take a ton of time. You're right. More particularly the second time that Faye did it. Um, she was definitely able to like save a lot of time. The second time, because the second time there's like a lot of
I messed up my lamp
back and forth
placement.
movement you have to do with the lamps. Yeah, that happens sometimes. And there's a lot of like back and forth movement that Juniper had to do with like if Faye didn't do the second time, the second skip with the fan blades. And so
Yes.
overall, it saves like a hefty amount of time. The exact time save I do not remember because it's been forever since I've done any casual stuff with this game. Uh, you think I remember the casual solutions? No, I do not. Um,
This is the end of
but
the demo
yeah,
normally. This is where Virgil will
yeah,
be like, "Hey, this is where you empty out your pockets because,
yeah,
this is when you got to buy the game to see the rest of it."
yeah, exactly. And it's like these next few levels, like mid game, is like my favorite part of the game because there's the movement in mid game is just for whatever reason, like I just find it to be so satisfying to do really fast. And there's an interesting skip right here that Faye is going to be doing, in which boom, you can make use of the fact that the lamps kind of just snap forward in front of you instead of having to physically turn them. And
Everybody
so
say hi to
Juniper,
Lux. Lux the cat.
oh yeah, Lux the cat. Hello, hello, Lux the cat. A little bit of time lost for cuteness, but you know what? It's worth it.
Time lost
It
for
really is.
cuteness is the best way to lose time.
Exactly. hmm
And if we
And
have some time after the run,
yeah.
we'll show another way to find Lux.
hmm Yes. And you want to make sure that when you're walking through this hallway right here, that your light is on the sensor,
And
because
that's one
otherwise
of
the
those
door
ones
will
where the
close.
game actually uses the fact that the lamp flips around as part of a puzzle solution, which is amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like, hey, we noticed this while we were making the game that this happened whenever you picked up a lamp. Why don't we use it?
hmm Exactly.
And here is one of the more
So
fun
yeah,
skips, just because
yeah,
it looks like it should not be allowed to happen. It just looks
yeah,
illegal, but it's not.
yeah. So Juniper is going to be lining up the lights right here, and you have just ever so slight amounts of light shining onto the tables, so that you were able
And we're gonna do
to
it again
go
right
with
here.
that. Yeah, we're gonna do it right here. But hopefully, okay, yeah, that jump is really it's a lot harder than it looks. That last jump onto the into safety, it's a lot harder than it looks. But essentially, Juniper, um, uh, Faye was able to like um to like just move the lamps in a very specific way so they shine just the right amount of light onto those pipes or onto those tables so that she was able to just walk across them. And she just did another skip right here in level 20, in which you don't actually have to be on the same like height plane as a lamp in order to grab it. You just have to be within a specific distance of it. And so uh,
We can basically get
she
around the
was
fact
able
that we
to,
can't jump with
yeah.
one by putting it up on a
Mhm.
slightly higher surface.
Yeah, exactly. And this is also the introduction of a level that you have to strafe with the lamp twice, and as you shine it on the sensor.
Yeah, normally we try
And
and hold
yeah,
W as much as possible because you move ever so slightly slower when you're strafing.
hmm
But there are a couple times like those two spots where we just kind of have to walk sideways.
yeah.
Walking
And in the
sideways
develop,
with a lamp.
yeah,
Hmm,
yeah, with
interesting.
a lamp. And in, I know that in the developers' commentary, they mentioned how when they were playtesting those levels, like none of the playtesters could figure out that you had to strafe with the lamp in order to like actually um, use it.
Hmm.
Mm,
Speaking of developer commentary, we'll get to actually see a little bit of that later.
Yeah,
At the end of this level here, to be precise.
yeah. Level
So,
22, the biggest level in the game, with the exception of the very last one.
yes, this is the biggest regular level in the game.
Yeah, because the last level just doesn't have any puzzles. It's just a giant chase sequence. Spoilers, but like also spoilers if you're why are you watching this game if you don't want spoilers?
This game has been out literally since the start of quarantine. If people haven't,
Right?
no, like
You
y'all
had
really
you
should
had
play it
two
though.
years and you had 2 years and all the time in the world to go buy this game. If you haven't done it
If you
yet,
care about
it's
spoilers
your own
now,
fault.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I, I I remember there was like this when is the right time to be allowed to spoil or something, and somebody was like, oh, it's like 6 months. It's like no,
Eh, I think it depends on
on
the
what it
thing.
is, yeah.
Yeah.
Because like I know people still care
Um,
about spoilers for some games.
yeah. But right here in level 22, there was two puzzles that Faye just did. In that the bottom floor was two lamps moving back and forth on two alternating platforms, and then the top floor was two lamps going in four platforms in a rotation. So they're like similar puzzles, but they have a bit of different like solutions just based on the way that they work. And so it was actually a level that they had to visualize using Legos from like a top-down perspective, and that's also mentioned in the
Any
developers
uh
commentary.
any coffee
Another reason
lovers
why
in
you should buy
chat?
this game. Yeah, I love coffee. My caffeine addiction is fed every day.
Yeah.
Um,
Another
Starbucks
picture of
has my whole
Lux.
wallet. Another picture. Why have I never noticed that before?
I'm pretty sure you said that last time and you just forgot.
Yeah, did I? Did I never notice that? Did I say that last time?
There's also a picture of a dog in the other locker. But
Oh wait, was there a picture of a ghost
yeah,
above?
yeah, it was a ghost ship.
Above? Oh, a ghost ship. You see something Halloweeny there?
Yeah.
It fits perfectly.
Hi, Ellen.
Hello again, Ellen. I
Ellen is
would give
kind
us a
of
lore
our.
update, but I forgot
Yeah.
what the lore is.
uh, Ellen is kind of our look into the inner workings of Lightmatter. She kind of is our. She's our conspiracy theorist. Uh, she basically is like, hey, this is what's going on behind the scenes. This is what's really happening.
Mhm. With Virgil and his partner Arthur. Um, Arthur, who we never see, but then there's James,
Well, I
who we
mean,
will.
my personal theory is that we're playing as Arthur, but
Oh, really? You think so?
yeah. Here's the
I,
developer intended skip, by the way,
yeah. We're gonna turn on developer commentary. Yeah.
and then turn it right back
And
off after picking up the
uh,
developer commentary, and save ourselves like 15 seconds of a waiting at this door because it's already open. Wow. Um, normally Virgil has a big, like, long-winded, "Hey, I'm gonna make you my assistant now, so that way you can legally see everything that's going on here, but you have to sign an NDA for me."
hmm
Uh,
Yeah.
another
And
instance of our identity changing in the game.
yeah. But thankfully, the developers were just like, oh, if you collect developer commentary here, that means Virgil will never finish the line and the door will never open. So they fixed that. Um, and that's just a free 15, 20-second time save that we can have. But right here we have orbs.
Or oh,
Yeah,
wrong
wrong
showcase,
marathon.
wrong showcase.
But I honestly, I just kind of refer. I go back and forth between orb and what they are actually called, which is photon crystals.
Photon
Um,
connectors, yes.
Photon connectors. You're right. And the way that they work is you can kind of already figure it out. It's pretty self-explanatory based on what you're seeing. But as long as the crystals are within sight of a mother source, they'll
Or each
have a
other.
beam of light. Yeah, or each other. They'll have a beam of light connecting them, which means you can just walk around freely as long as they have a connection between them. And as long as one orb at the very least is connected to a mother source. And you're going to see us doing a lot of interesting puzzle solving with that. And with these specific, for example, in this room right here, we're going to really push the limits as to how tight these connections can be because as you can see, whenever like the beam of light turns to like a reddish pinkish color, it means that like the connection between these two crystals is like about to break. Like there's something that's about to block them. And so we are going to be really pushing the limits of these connections in order to like skip certain sections of the game.
Yeah, you'll notice actually that there's a total push count, total pickups, and total jumps stats. We actually have another category called low percent where we try and keep those
Hmm.
numbers as low as possible. And that
Hmm.
actually makes some really interesting versions of puzzles.
Yeah, it does.
They're slower, but
Um,
they take less pickups, and it's actually a really
yeah,
fun way to go
yeah,
about.
it is. But the theoretical lowest way to beat this game is actually pretty hard.
Yeah.
Because there's certain jumps that like you need to get obviously first try or else the run is just dead. If you want to go for a perfect low percent run, that is. That seems good. Oh, Rose, why didn't you die there? Could you
So
explain to us why you didn't die there?
um, this was actually something that I believe this wasn't in the developer commentary, so you wouldn't find out about this in game. But we are in the official Lightmatter Discord, which we run the speedrunning Discord out of too, and we've
Mhm.
talked to the devs, and they've actually told us before that the way that the game determines whether or not you're in shadow is really interesting. So there's a series of like points around your character that the game is always detecting. And if a certain number of those points are within shadow, the game considers you in shadow and will obviously kill you. However, you can kind of be a little cheeky and have just a certain number uh, outside of what the game considers to be shadow, and you can still be okay. So that
Mhm.
rail just happens to be have enough of those points outside of shadow for it to consider you safe.
Yeah, and uh, Juniper Faye are going to be like really taking advantage of that in a lot of other cases. And certain shadows in this game just don't have like a kill plane on them at all for some reason, and so we're gonna see Faye take advantage of that as well. And she's also going to be doing another really cool skip in this level. Um, so she's going to be like putting this lamp or this orb right here on the very corner, and then taking the next photon crystal. It doesn't really matter where you put it. Bring this over, and we want that first photon crystal to be on that very corner of the room. So it has a connection between this lamp right here. We're going to be placing it like right there, and gives us enough space to jump over that little sliver of light and skip the majority of the puzzle solving in that level. And if we're really here, there was still alive from the first Portal game playing on a little radio station on
Very
the
hard to
side.
hear during a speed run, but
Yeah.
if you stay in that room for long enough, you'll hear the whole song. Um,
Mhm. Yeah.
it's a very
And
there are other than that nod to Aperture, there are a couple Portal references that are in the game that are really cool.
yeah, there are.
We'll show off
One
another
of which,
one
if
in
yeah,
a little
yeah,
bit.
yeah. But before that, we got to go through level 29.
The infamous
Um,
level 29.
hmm
The reason we
uh,
call it infamous is because there is no skips
like this is the
whatsoever.
intended solution, just fast.
Yeah. This is the intended solution, just I know how to solve it. That's literally all it is.
Hmm. Yeah. And it's kind of annoying too because like in the in like
The IL for this, yeah.
the IL for this, really it's like really cool because our glitch hunter Ralcor, who keeps coming back to this game, I don't know how he does it. It'll just be like 6 months of silence, and then suddenly Ralcor has found another skip, and I'm just like, how do you do that? Why do you come back to this game all the time?
Because it's a
But
fun
shout outs to
game, of
Ralcor
course.
because yeah, and Ralcor found a way to like do prop displacement, or also in or some kind of displacement in which like you can keep the props in their same space, and restart the level at the same time. There's also found a way for you to save your position and restart level. And so because of that, but each of those skips require you to quit to the main menu, and then restart the level. And the reason that it's only viable for ILs is because since you quit to main menu and then restart, the game thinks that you're in level one. So the next loading screen that you go to, the game is going to wrong warp you to level two. And so like it's just it's physically impossible to like actually make it viable in like a full game run. But it's allowed for ILs. So if you're into IL grinding, um, that's the thing you can do,
Mm,
and it allows a bit more liberties with the glitches.
it's the only instance of a stationary photon connector in the game, by the way, was that last level. It was a little underused, but I really like the usage of it that they did use.
Yeah,
Um, Here's another instance of Virgil talking to James. James, a mountain of a man. He has rocks in his head.
he does.
We'll see a glimpse of him later.
And yet
Uh,
somehow he's the only person that goes through character growth in this game. Um, like you'll see what we mean at the end.
yeah,
Um,
character growth, yes. As far as character development
yeah,
goes, your playable character can technically go through development if you decide to go for that
yeah,
ending. But
true,
oh yeah, this
true.
game has multiple endings, by the way.
But we can't. We're not gonna spoil the secret ending, but of course you'll see the regular ending here.
Yeah, we have the this isn't the good ending that we're going for. It's more of a neutral ending because
Hmm.
there are no good endings. But the
Yeah.
secret ending is very much the bad ending.
Oh wait, we forgot to make the joke again, where it's just like, oh, you need more finesse,
Oh, that's
and
okay. That's
we're
okay.
gonna get saved, and then we didn't, and then this game makes you think that you're gonna get saved like 7 times, and then it
Oh
doesn't.
yeah. You'll notice
And
your
yeah,
character's movement. My character's movement speed kind of just changed a little bit there. Also, Ellen's back. Hi, Ellen.
yeah. Hi, Ellen. Yeah, that's the exact thing that I was gonna mention. Just oh my, why do you make that connection so tight? What? You're giving me so much anxiety right now. Oh my god. You make that first connection so like so small. It's giving me so
Ah,
much anxiety.
I messed it up right there at the end because I didn't quite place this lamp correctly. That's okay. I get to try it again.
Uh, that's good. Yeah. Oh, you're not doing the safer version? I do the safer version when you go back and you replace the first one.
That's yep.
Yeah. But the risky strats, we love to see them.
Love the risky scraps. Oh, and we're gonna have a small little instance of possibly going sonic speed here, if I can get it right. There we go.
Yep, you got it a bit. Whenever you like rail grind off of a moving platform, sometimes you can keep the momentum of the moving platform. But it's like only possible there for some reason.
It's also available in
Like,
one other spot, which we've already passed, and it didn't work for me because of the um,
mhm.
just the way that the
Yeah, yeah,
uh, that particular level handled. Here
yeah,
is the instance I was talking about at the very beginning of very bright light. It'll happen in probably about a minute here. So just
yeah.
if you are a bit sensitive to light, just letting you know now. It will get quite
Or if
bright.
you're in I know it's late for a lot of people, so if you're in a room by yourself with the lights turned off and you're there, a very bright monitor or a very bright phone, turn down the brightness, look away, do whatever you need to do. The entire screen is going to turn white in a few seconds. Uh,
It's not safe
but
to press a
speaking of
button.
which, yeah, pressing buttons.
Oh,
There's no way that this button
I was told
can't do anything
do
in
not
that,
touch
right?
anything, but I already touched something. So I touched something before you said it, so it doesn't count, right?
It doesn't count. You're right. Um,
Uh,
but what we're doing is overloading the core.
yeah, this is a prototype version of the core. This is kind of gonna show us what we're gonna do at the very end of the game.
Hmm.
And it also somehow
Foreshadowing, if you will.
turns us around too. Um,
Foreshadowing. I made a pun. Get it? Foreshadowing shadows. Speaking of shadows, these ones don't kill you.
yeah, because you can see these like almost purple ones just kind of burn away, and now we're okay. When I first played this game, I thought that we were going to be like reversed now that we only could stay in shadows. Um, but unfortunately, we go right back to the shadows that kill you right here.
Hmm. That would have been cool, right?
Yeah, I
You have to
genuinely
avoid the
just
light
jumped
sometimes.
headfirst into one of those shadows on my first playthrough, thinking that, oh, I can't touch light now.
I mean, that's a solid way of trying to read. It would have been a nice, it would have been a cool twist. But then that like that means it would have altered something in your body. But that would have been a really cool storyline. Speaking of Portal references, we weren't speaking about that, but there's another one here. Um,
The
it's a
weighted storage,
turret.
a turret and a weighted storage cube.
Yeah. Weighted storage cube. Make sure
Yes,
you remember weighted storage cube because every time that I do this in a marathon and Rose is on commentary, Faye always like correct me because I say it's a companion cube, and then
it
she's
doesn't
like,
sing.
"It's not a companion cube.
It
It's
doesn't
not a companion
sing,
cube."
and it's not pink.
Yeah, it doesn't have a heart on it.
uh,
Goodness.
yeah, if you've seen any of our other marathon runs, you'll probably remember those interactions where I'm like, no, it's a weighted storage cube, not a companion
Hmm.
cube.
Yeah.
Speaking of interesting skips, which we weren't talking about, but
Are you gonna try level 26 skip? 36 skip?
yeah, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna go for it.
Oh,
Risky
that's
skips.
amazing.
Risky skips.
This saves like a hefty amount of time, but it's like the most inconsistent thing in the world. So essentially, what Rose is going to be
Uh,
doing here
I fell
is
off.
trying to rail grind down this rail here, and if the game is just feeling generous, you can get pushed up like the lip of the platform,
I'm gonna try
and
it one more
so you
time.
can make it to the other side. Um, can you get it? You see, like we don't know what
I'm gonna go for it one more
causes
time,
this to happen. One more
just
time,
because
yeah,
I'm
one more
feeling
time.
risky.
Yeah, we don't know what it causes this to like happen. But sometimes I feel like you have to come at it at like a specific angle or something like that, or I just don't know what,
All right.
like,
Intended
I
solution
don't know
time.
what is. Yeah.
We have actually gotten that in a marathon run once. Um,
Yes,
we were
I
doing a
used
race.
that marathon.
Yeah, we were doing a
Yeah,
race, I think, and one person got it, the other three didn't. Uh,
yeah. But I remember you were commentating in a run that I got at first try in a
yes,
marathon.
yes, I do remember that
Yeah.
too.
And I use that marathon run as my submissions to like every other marathon that I do. Because I love that run. I love that run so much. But only like it's a very inconsistent thing, and only 5 people have ever gotten it in light matter history. Uh, of course, me and Rose have gotten it, but shout outs to Bobby Berm, Lycos BK, and Captain Wreckbeard, who have all gotten it as well. Um, we've only ever gotten it like less than 5 times each, ever,
Yeah.
and never in full game runs, unless we're in a marathon.
Yeah, it's just like that
And we're
marathon
just
luck,
lucky.
know?
Yeah, unless we're in a marathon, we're lucky. But like, we would never go for it in like a grind setting because like, it's just way too risky
And it's
and
at
way
the
too
very end of the
inconsistent and
game.
way.
It's
Yeah, exactly.
we literally have two more levels left, including this one, which is my favorite regular level in the game. Hey Juniper, why is it
Piano
your
cue.
favorite level?
Why is it your favorite level, Juniper?
Because I myself have found at least three different solutions for this one puzzle. And I like to challenge myself and try and find different solutions every once in a while.
Ironically, though, I'm pretty sure the solution that we're getting today is like not an intended solution at all.
Oh no, it's definitely not.
Um, yeah, like it's not like an intended way. There's like multiple intended ways, but this is not one of them. Um, but the sensor that Faye lighted up, um, she's gonna be just moving this lamp or this orb ever so slightly out of range of that, so that if they're able to just skip the majority of the actual puzzle solving of this level, and then we can just go straight into level 38.
Yeah. Speaking of
So
level
level,
38,
yeah,
the that skip that I accidentally found actually led to something really big. Because guess what? I don't have to ride a 2-minute elevator now.
yeah, you can just retry level. And this specific loading screen is for whatever reason 1,000 times longer
because
than
well, it's
like
just
all
because of
the
how
other
much
loading.
bigger this level is.
Yeah, exactly. Um, but even though we skipped one 2 minute cutscene, we have to sit through another 2 minute cutscene.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
because we just turned off the core. Wait, didn't we
there
turn it
is
off?
technically a way. There is technically a way to skip this cutscene.
Not in
Technically,
this version of the game, however.
but yeah, exactly.
And it's using a major glitch as well. So,
hmm
um,
like, well, you can explain it. You can
yeah,
explain it.
there is a death plane in this room. Like all of these are just like not quite big enough to kill you in this room. However, right up on this particular camera, there is a death plane that you can die on. However, we just cannot quite get high enough of a jump to get up there. Like,
hmm
no matter how much we try, we can't get up on there. Because
hmm
crouching doesn't exist in this game, I can't try and like crouch midair and like get my feet up on there. Um, it's just one of those things. There was a trick that was in an older patch of the game, which we banned in full game runs for a time, and then allowed in um, like allowing major glitches if people wanted to. I think at one point,
Yeah.
and it basically you can die on this camera, and it just reactivates this lever for some reason, and you can just go.
hmm
uh,
Yeah, I for it's possible in version one,
yes,
like 1.0, but I don't know when I don't know what version they patched it in.
1.05, I believe, which was the developer commentary patch. Um,
Mm.
so this is Ellen
Um,
again. Hi, Ellen. Telling us about
hello.
her plan to destroy Lightmatter.
hmm
She wants us to overload the core. She turned off this camera, by the way. I don't know if y'all noticed this, uh, but now I get to turn the core back on.
Speaking of cameras, there is an achievement in this game if you just look at a camera for like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. Um, but if you're a fan of puzzles, unfortunately the puzzle solving is gone. This last level does not have any puzzles. It's just a like 8 minute escape sequence.
Speaking of character movement speed, like I was talking about earlier, we were like it simulated us being like slower because we were like quote unquote hurt. Well, now it's simulating us running by increasing our movement speed. So we're
hmm
moving ever so slightly in this level than we do in other levels, and it feels
hmm
really, really nice to just move fast, you know?
Yeah. And it's you might think that it's frustrating to die on this last level because you're so far late into the game, and it is kind of. But at the same time, this particular level has faster respawns than like every other level in the game.
Yeah, and also a lot of
And
these cycles are triggered cycles, so like I can never get onto that, no matter how fast I go, because it doesn't start that particular platform doesn't start moving until I stand in a particular spot. So I can literally never get onto that platform above me.
yeah, and part of the reason why that is not only the triggers, but also because
Half the level
this
isn't
is
even
the
loaded
only
right now.
yeah, like this is the only level in the game that the entire level isn't loaded. Um, it loads in chunks, and
I missed it.
all of the cycles in this level are based on whatever chunk like you are in at the current moment, of course. So just because you miss one cycle doesn't mean you're gonna miss the next one.
Yes. And we see a pair of glasses just kind of sitting there, and name tag and a pair of shoes, because somebody may or may not have gotten dissolved by shadows like I just did, because
Yeah.
I didn't jump, because
But like like right there, like she died, and then like she didn't even lose that much time through it because like of just how quick the respawns are in this level. So unlike a lot of games where you feel like dying solely in the run would be like a huge run kill or whatever. Like it's not like
it's not as huge
dying
of
at
a
the end of
deal.
this game. It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a huge deal. Just picking repeat try
Speaking
again.
of cycles, I'm gonna like force myself into this corner here to try and get a slightly earlier cycle, um, because again, yes, they are triggered cycles, but I can get through just the tiniest bit faster if I just kind of shove myself into this corner.
I'm pretty
right as
sure
soon
the
as we
cycle that
activate.
you're about. I'm pretty sure the cycle you're about to get is like starts the moment that you load into the chunk.
Yeah.
So it's really important that you try to get to here.
Oh.
Oh, that was so close.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got stuck on a corner for half a second, and that was just the half a second that it took to not get that cycle. But that's okay.
Hmm.
Didn't we still got the second
Hmm.
cycle anyways? So
Yeah.
even
Hmm.
if I had stopped
Yeah.
and waited, it was no different than me trying to go for it and dying.
Yeah.
Oh, here
And
our identity is
so,
going to change again.
oh yeah, we were like journalists,
Inspector at one point, assistant.
inspector.
Now we're a
Ah,
spy.
I do love how ambiguous your own identity is. Like it just never gets answered. Um, and so I also mentioned like Virgil is actively trying to kill us and doing a pretty poor job at it by just trying to make everything engulf us in the shadows.
Yeah, but
It's,
he can't see us because the cameras are off, so that's why he's so bad at
yeah,
it.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Um, but right here is another really cool skip found by Ralcor. Again, shout out to Ralcor. I don't know how he manages to find so much stuff in this game. Uh, but
Ah,
these pipes, you saw these pipes. They just don't have kill planes in them. Like when you're like in the very center, there's just no kill plane at
yeah.
all.
I'm gonna go for it one more time. Oh, it's already open.
Hmm.
There we go.
There you
That's what
go.
it's
There
supposed to
you go.
look like.
That's good.
I
Yeah.
lost a little bit of time there going for it, but I think for this because it's a showcase, we want to show off the skips rather than you know, with the exception of that one that was a little.
Yeah. Yeah. A bit of a photosensitivity warning here. We really should have mentioned like the photosensitivity warning like for like this whole level because every time that we
Yes.
pull a lever, like it just there's gonna be a bright flash of light.
Yes. Oh, best skip in the game. He told us not so fast. I'm still going fast though.
Hmm. Not so fast.
That
That's our
that's the marathon. That's
that's
the
our
marathon
endpoint
thing.
here.
The
Hmm. Okay, give me 1 second. Stop. Refresh. Oh, there we go. Okay. I'm
I
Where?
going
would,
to.
I would,
You
I would
seem
go
like
back
you are
even
back.
to like, I would go back even to the yellow room, or no, before the yellow room. I would go back to the yellow room,
There's James, by the
and
way.
then just continue. There's James, the mountain man. Oh boy, oh looks like we're back on stream. Hey guys,
Hi.
we're in no
We're
clip
in no
mode right
clip
now.
mode because I was trying to get back
Um,
to where we were. Oh, this
yeah,
cutscene's already
we're
started,
gonna go
so
see.
yep,
Cutscene's already started. Does it
yep,
teleport you?
yep, it did.
Oh dang, look at that.
And it took me out of no clip. Uh,
Do we just finish the run or do we want to keep going?
I can't go back into no clip. It's not gonna let me.
Oh dang.
I,
Look at that.
you all didn't miss too much. Just a little bit of a kink in the. I'm sorry about that. I don't know what happened.
Yeah. I
Uh,
mean, we just honestly though, like based on when I checked out and based on
that
when
was
the
time,
stream
by
was
the way.
connected, we oh yeah, time. We forgot to mention based on based on when I saw the stream all, we didn't like y'all didn't miss much. It like this last level is mainly just like platforming and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
I will
so
I will definitely be showing off this game again at some point. So if you ever come back to a future track mode that I'm doing, I will definitely be showing off this game again. So
yeah, yeah, for sure. And if we have time, we can show off one last thing. Do we
yeah,
have time?
do we have time? It's not gonna take more than like 3 minutes at most.
You have time. Yep. Go ahead.
Cool.
That
So I'm gonna go out to title real quick, and I'm going to a very special level.
so this is we have a whole category up to you essentially just play the whole game up until this level. Don't forget developers commentary.
Oh yeah, yeah, can't forget that.
Hmm.
Extras, developer commentary.
Yeah,
Pick it
so we're
up.
gonna do the soup again. Yeah. So ironically speaking, we did say that this game doesn't have any RNG elements unless you're playing this category, which is Lux percent. And so you just play the whole game up to. Why is there no light there?
Because game being game.
Yeah. You play the whole game up to this point, and then you need to go from level 23 to level 24. You can't start in level 24. Um, so you start at level 23, and at the very beginning of level 24, there is a vending machine that will open and close the door behind you. And
Yes.
every time that the door opens,
See the door's closed
there
right
is
now?
yeah.
We press the button on the vending machine, door opens. And we hear a
The first
meow. We hear
time,
a meow.
yeah,
It
you hear a
can
meow.
happen on the first time,
The
by the
first
way. Uh,
it can.
it can.
Oh, dang, I didn't know. I thought it had to happen on the second try.
Yeah, but it's like what, a 5% chance?
Yeah. So like it's I'm pretty sure every time that you open and close the door, there is a 1 in 10 chance of something happening. And there it is. Lux the cat.
Yes, this
Um,
is what the ending of Lux percent is. So, if you want if you don't mind RNG heavy categories, you just play from level 1 up to level 24 here, and you try and find Lux.
mhm. um, it can happen first try or it can happen the 20th try. Um, and it's absolutely it's a lovely category.
Yes, it is.
And it's a shorter one.
And it
If you don't feel like doing a really long any percent run, then just do Lux percent, you
yes,
know?
it is the epitome of time lost for cuteness.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Which is the most adorable thing ever. And you can die on the top of the cat post.
Yep.
Yeah. Does it disappear?
Nope.
No, it's still there. Okay.
Yep, and there's a little
But Lux
bowl,
the
a
cat.
little hovel, some yarn, and
Mm-hmm.
then Lux the cat themselves.
Yes.
So with that cute ending to the run, uh, thank you all so much for coming and viewing our little game. Um,
It's
I'm
an
Juniper
adorable game.
Rose. I'm Rebel Rose on all of my socials. So you can find me on Twitch, YouTube, or Twitter. It'll either be Rebel Rose 42, or Rebel Rose 34, depending on which platform. Um, my commentator here, Osmorn, if you want to
Yep.
plug
Yeah.
yourself a little bit.
Of course. I mean, most people in chat know who I am. But if you don't, I am Osmorn. I am Osmorn on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, pretty much any social media. You can just follow me at Osmorn. And so I'm really glad to be here on comms, showing off another really good runner and another really good game. And so I'm honored that Juniper chose me to to commentate with her here. So I really hope y'all enjoyed. If you join the Discord, y'all, like, and speedrun this game.
Yeah, you can literally,
Uh,
once you download the game, you just click the little thing that says Discord on the main menu. I'll even show you. Or you can even do it in the pause screen too. Like you literally
yeah,
just click on
exactly.
Discord and it gives you an
Hmm.
invite to the developer Discord where you can chat with us.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
or,
The developers are very supportive of our
yes,
speedrunning endeavors.
yes, the ones that are,
Um,
and some of them were pretty active in chat for a while right after the game
mhm.
was launched, but they're still there and they'll still talk to us on occasion.
Yeah. Um, Unfortunately, no one, like, I mean, aside from like showing it off at like marathons, no one is actively grinding the game right now. So maybe, if you want to get into a new speedrun, I said like it's very beginner friendly. Maybe you could inspire some of us to come out of hibernation.
Yes.
But yeah,
Thank you all once again, and thank you so much, Metroid Crime, for hosting for us.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah, no problem. That
you
was such a great run.
you were amazing, and thank you for letting me run this for you.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Like I'm so happy that you got to show this off. This was amazing. Thank you both for being on. Y'all stay tuned. We will be back soon with Xenoclash 2 by Roadkill Revenge. BRB.